Morning, everyone. Morning, if anyone's just come over from Instagram for the first time. Welcome. We do all sorts of things in this next half hour. News, happy birthdays.
Strange t-shirts.
Mark being silly, Mark showing off his clothes. What does that one say?
Wish you were here. I don't know why, I find sharks really nostalgic. They remind me of the 70s. Now, you're on 4G because I'm already sensing, having sent a wee transfer today, that
I think he's up.
I just think a lot of things are slow. So can I just initially say, Tim, I'm so sorry to hear your news. That's just ghastly. So sending Tim,
Mark told me.
just come out of furlough and, God, Jesus Christ, Tim. Stay strong, stay connected, plug into the fellowship. You know you've got the toolbox. So
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, really sorry. Yeah. So can everyone send Tim Reed a huge hug. A huge hug of support. Good morning.
And everyone else that's coming out of furlough to discover that they no longer have a job. We're sending you lots of love.
Good morning, everyone. Leggy Blonde Jen, Pauline, Denise, Nelson Gale. Hello, Denise. Good morning, lovely people. Not a great start to my day as I'm sat in A&E as my doctor thinks I have blood clots on my lungs.
Oh,
Denise. No. Oh, my God. Please keep us posted. On
Denise.
IG. Oh, God.
Denise, really?
Yeah. Oh, my God. What from? What do you... oh, my God.
Oh, my God, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. I hope they're not keeping you sat waiting too long in A&E.
God. Oh, Tim, it is what it is. Sending you a big recovery hug.
People are having a shit day today.
Yeah. Oh, look, lots of hugs coming to Denise and Tim there.
Lovely Denise.
Yeah. Can I get a shout out for my birthday? Emma McGregor, 46 today.
You will. Anyone's birthday, let us know and we'll sing you a song at the end.
So, you were going to start, Nads, with some good news, you said.
Well, I don't know if anyone watched Dr. John Campbell the other day. It was the story that I was telling you that you didn't seem to think was good news.
What you told me so,
with the woman that got... so basically... Dr. John Campbell, in case you're new, is somebody that a lot of us on here follow, who has been an absolute guiding light throughout the pandemic.
I think you more than
with his
follow
info.
him.
I'm in love with him. Anyway, every so often in his videos, he'll have a video from someone somewhere around the world telling their COVID story.
Right.
And this woman told it very eloquently, actually. She was in America and she took us through the whole journey of the pandemic. Basically, she'd been following Dr. John, and taken all his advice. She had lots of comorbidities, obesity, a lung problem, a gut problem, chronic asthma. Like whenever she has an asthma attack, she ends up in hospital.
Yeah.
So she'd been shielding the whole year. She really took his advice on vitamin D. Please watch the films on vitamin D, guys. It's so important. And actually went to her doctor and got diagnosed, got actually prescribed vitamin D, quite a high amount actually. It's really important you check with your doctor what to take. 5,000 milligrams, both morning and night, which means she was completely out of vitamin D. Anyway, so she'd had her first jab, she had her second jab. Her husband was like 10 years younger than her and decided not to have the vaccine because he was younger, he didn't have any comorbidities, nothing going on. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago, she had her second vaccine. And the ongoing problem that she has with her stomach flared up. It's something that flares up, so nothing to do with the vaccine. So she went into hospital and they said, we think that you're probably going to need a minor operation. We have to do a COVID test. She goes, oh no, you don't need to give me a COVID test. I've had my second jab. I feel fantastic.
Right.
They tested her. She had COVID.
And that's good news.
Wait. Right. And so did her partner have COVID.
Right.
So when she filmed this film, they'd been 2 weeks into their COVID.
Right.
Listen to this. This is incredible. She hadn't had a single symptom.
Right.
Nothing. Now, with all those comorbidities, she would have been,
Normally
almost definitely
vulnerable.
extremely unwell.
Yeah.
And also she was that low on vitamin D,
right.
so the vitamin D. Now, her partner, who hadn't had the jab, was really, really unwell.
Right.
They were laughing. I mean, it hit him absolutely. He's had to be on all sorts of drugs and everything. Temperature of 100 degrees, like terrible aching body, such pain, couldn't sleep. So I just thought, when we're talking about you can still get it, I thought that was really interesting. She had it, but she had no idea she had it because of the vaccine, and the doctor said it was because she'd had the vaccine.
Yeah, I suppose I got confused by the fact because on one level, it's not good news that she's got it again.
Well, she'd never had it.
Oh, I thought she had.
No.
Oh, well, she'd been vaccinated. There was.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not good
She'd
news,
had
is it?
2 vaccines.
But she got it.
And she got it, but
Right.
she got no illness from it at all.
Right.
And this is what we've got to
Yeah.
remember, that when they're talking about, you can still get it, it's
Yes.
not you're going to still get it and be dreadfully ill. You're
Yeah.
going to get it and have it... She had it so mildly, she didn't have a single symptom.
Sure, right.
And as Dr. John Campbell said, with all those comorbidities, she would have been in real trouble
Yes.
if she hadn't had that vaccine.
Yeah. No, I got you.
It was a very positive
Yeah.
story. But also the fact that she'd had the vitamin D would have helped her.
Let's share some really good news here for Jessica Woodstock as well. I have some decent news for once. I am a training counsellor.
Wow, Jessica!
Well done, Jessica. That's really good
Really?
news. Congratulations. That's
Wow,
brilliant.
that is fantastic
brilliant
news. Everyone saying congratulations to Jessica. Well done.
Well done, Jessica. Well done.
And all your experiences that you've had, because you've had a lot of experiences, haven't you, with lots of different things. You will be able to channel that into
Absolutely.
being an excellent
counsellor.
Good for you.
Welcome to the world of counselling. Fantastic. That's such good news. Well done, Jessica. Jill Lister says apparently we are officially out of the pandemic. I saw that on front of the front of the Telegraph or the Times. That officially.
Let's have a
we are
1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Then let's have a little moment for the rest of the world, which is suffering so
absolutely.
terribly.
And apparently, there's a report that I'm struggling to pin it down because my app has updated in the interim. But a new study shows. I mean, there's so many bloody studies flying around, aren't there? That one jab of any vaccine
Hi, Ronnie.
gives you 65% protection against the virus. So, we are slowly but surely moving towards some kind of herd immunity. We're not there yet. We may never quite get the perfect numbers for that, but we are moving in the right direction. And whilst you were away yesterday, Nads, we were sharing about the fact that whilst the situation in India is bleak, I think when you think of the fact that it was considered one of their worst days yesterday, 300,000 new cases, 2,000 deaths.
Poor people.
Now, those numbers are going to be grossly under what's the real case. But even for their worst day of 2,000 deaths, it puts it in context. That was the same number that we had on our worst day. And their population is 1.5 billion.
I know.
And we're 67
And also, they had massive super spreader events.
Exactly.
So I suppose, we've all been saying, oh my God, it should be a variant of concern, not one of, or a variant. What's the difference? There's one for concern, and what's the other one?
A variant of concern and a variant
interest.
under investigation.
Interest or something like that. Anyway, and we've all been saying, why isn't it? Well, actually, I suppose they are still looking at the data because though those numbers are high and dreadful, maybe it does not necessarily have a faster transmission like the Kent variant did.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just these super spreader events. And like you say, in relation to the population.
And also, I was talking about yesterday how we have to also get a little bit calmer about some of these things. Everywhere it seems in the world, because we had this regionally in the UK, everywhere has to have its moment where it peaks. And then it falls back. And we can either view those moments happening in places where they haven't yet happened as a progression of the disease, which I think weirdly the WHO isn't getting the narrative right on this. They just keep saying the numbers are going up, but actually the narrative is different. Yes, there are peaks happening in different parts of the world, but you could argue that those peaks are happening because they haven't happened yet.
Exactly. I mean? We've always said that.
Yeah.
Rhiannon Kemp, what a lovely message. Yay, first live I caught in ages. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mark. Hi, Nadia. Another beautiful day.
Wow, you sound as cheerful as Nadia.
Let's send some highs to Rhiannon.
Yeah, you're cheerful with this big sun. A big sun at the end of it.
You're feeling good today. Vanessa's mum, Beverly, let's put it down, who's 60.
Oh, I have.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Vanessa Johnson, is it Vanessa? Happy birthday to Vanessa
We'll sing
Johnson's
to you at
mum.
the end.
I
Good
didn't have your
morning,
name,
Jacqueline Frost. Hope you're well.
Yeah. What was that? Someone just said I wanted to read. It's gone. On the same day that we've discovered in the news's attempts to constantly have us batshit scared that a kitten has died of COVID. Now, of course, we're very sad about that kitten, but human to cat transmission, is that a cause for concern? Is it something we should worry about? Is it an enigma, or is it or should cats now socially distance from us? What do you think? Is it a cause for concern?
I just think it's impossible.
Do you remember those stories right at the beginning when there were like chihuahuas in Hong Kong that contracted
What
COVID.
about a few weeks ago when we were talking about South Korea, where they
Yeah.
were saying to dogs to socially distance and wear masks?
Yeah. A kitten has died after contracting COVID-19 from its owner, researchers at the Glasgow University have said. Cats of different breeds were living in separate households and displayed mild to severe respiratory signs. Researchers believe both pets were infected by their owners. I mean, once again, I suppose the thing that always makes me a little bit nervous about all of this is it's the close proximity of humans and animals, isn't it? And I suppose that's our most benign relationship is with cats, you know. But if you think that we always talk about bird flu, there is an issue, isn't there, with the way in which we live with our animals. I mean, and I think maybe domesticated pettery is something that I don't know. Maybe it's going to be the next. I don't know. I don't know whether it's something to be worried about. There always seems to be a story that pops up about some domestic pet that gets something. Is it an enigma or is it something that one needs to worry about? I have 2 cats. This doesn't worry me in the slightest, I have to say. There you go. Brilliant. The other news, of course, today is that driving tests return. I thought it might be a nice opportunity on a Friday to have some nostalgia about driving lessons and driving tests.
God, you don't want to ask me.
And Nadia very publicly...
I had so many driving tests being filmed. First for Comic Relief.
Yeah.
No, not one celebrity passed. Do you remember that?
No.
And then the second one was a series I did called Mirror Signal Maneuver.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could find that. It would be funny to...
Yeah.
Can we find that?
Did you? And you passed, didn't you?
Well, I think I took it 3 times or twice.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because...
Hi, Jacqueline
I had
Frost.
so many driving lessons, but I was just shit anyway. But famously, my second driving test, I failed, I was doing this series, Mirror Signal Maneuver, and my mum and dad, they wanted to come back to the house and film my mum and dad's reaction when I had passed, because everyone thought I was going to pass. So we walked in, my dad had a blazer on. I mean, how sweet is that, with brass buttons?
Yeah,
they had a bottle of champagne.
He looked like he'd sort of come from the
Diplomatic service.
service,
And he was standing ramrod like this, and
Yes.
I was like...
Bless him.
So I had to come in. I wasn't expecting it at all, and the cameras were there and everything, and I said, I've failed. And they both burst out laughing because they didn't think I had, because I'd already failed once. I went, no, I've failed. And they were going, no, you haven't. No. They thought I was joking. I got the cameras there. I went, Mum, Dad, I've failed. I have failed. Anyway, so I eventually convinced them that I'd failed. And then they said, what did you fail on? Well, there was loads of things I failed on, but the driving instructor actually stopped the test because she asked me to do a 3-point turn the car around, a 3-point turn, but I ended up the same direction I'd started. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was supposed to turn the car around. I did all the manoeuvres, but I ended up facing the same way as I'd started.
Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do, is it?
Yeah, so I said to my dad, I was supposed to do a 3-point turn, and I ended up facing the way I'd begun, and he went, they failed you for this? This is not your driving. This is your sense of direction. You have never had a good sense of direction.
Yeah.
As you bet it.
Yeah, like they should have just forgiven you that. Yeah.
No, but classic parent
that
thinks the child's never done anything wrong. I might add, I was 39. But...
That is a talent, as someone said. Tim Reed says he failed 6 times and now loves driving.
Oh, I hate driving.
You drove for how long? How long did you drive your car?
About a month.
Yeah.
My problem was, when I finally passed, I was hypnotised. And I was
it was a very arduous journey. You know,
I was very deeply hypnotised to the point where and I didn't believe that I'd been hypnotised, but then when I arrived at the test centre,
you kept barking in the bedroom. Do you remember?
I was so deeply hypnotised. Anyway, the driving examiner came out, and I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and he was not.
You thought he was the most
I
beautiful...
thought, oh my God, look at him. He's so kind. He's got such a lovely face. And he was an absolute, skinhead, big guy. And all the crew were
Skinheads
like...
can be lovely.
No, but they said he was a driving examiner. He did not look kind.
Right.
But in my mind, he looked kind. I was like, oh, he's lovely. And the crew were like... Afterwards, they said, he really didn't look kind. Anyway, I got in the car, and she'd said to me... You will drive the best you've ever driven in your heart. There will never be another day that you will drive as well as you will drive today. You've never driven before as well as you will drive today. So I got in the car.
Sue Wood, I can drive my family mad. Very good,
second
Sue.
eye. I got to the end of the road and I didn't indicate to turn left.
Nothing about what you've done sounds good.
No, but I passed this one.
Real.
But because I've been hypnotised, I went, oh, that's interesting. I didn't indicate left. Oh, it probably means I failed. So I just drove and I just was a fantastic driver and I loved it and it was like, and I was fine because I was going to fail. Anyway, got to the end and I bloody passed.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
And apparently why I didn't fail was with the indicating because there was nobody behind me.
That's kind of unusual, though.
Well, that's what I
really,
thought.
really strange. I think you.
But can you imagine? You're doing a driving test, right? And you're doing your 3-point turn or whatever, and you've got cameras all the way around the car, and then you've got a crew outside of the car
it's very disorientating.
filming you like this. It was really awful.
Bobby B has just found an episode of Mirror Signal Maneuver
Have
on
you?
YouTube. There you go.
Have you?
We'll have to have a look afterwards. Can I just ask you all, rather than a binary question, just pop, for those of you who've passed your test, or even if you haven't passed your test, how many driving tests have you taken, or did you take in order to pass or fail? So how many driving tests did you take in the end?
I think 3.
And
I
then
think I passed on my 3rd.
You passed on your third. I passed
I'm
on
not
my
sure.
first, but I
4.
I learned when I was weirdly about
You
22.
passed on your what?
First. Oh look, here we go. 1. Oh, quite a few 1 and passed.
4 penny.
Yeah. 3 driving tests. Vanessa Johnson.
Trouble is
6 Sarah Begley. Wow.
Trouble
Did
is,
you pass
every
in the
time
end?
you do it, you get more anxious about it. That's the trouble, isn't it?
Passed. Who's that? Passed first time. Debs Baker. Steph Basia.
6.
6. Wow. It is stressful.
Jay,
I mean,
Andy hates driving. I hate it. I find it. I haven't got the right mind to drive.
Well, the irony was, I mean, I hope I wasn't. I mean, I only got in a car a couple of times with Nadia driving because she didn't drive for very long. But I remember thinking you were very nervous and you were very scared and you were worried you were going to knock people down. And that worried me.
I keep thinking I'm going to kill people.
But I thought you were actually a very safe driver. I mean, I did say that a lot. I wasn't one of those husbands who was like, oh no, don't go near the car and all that kind of stuff. I thought she was actually very safe.
My problem was that I didn't just get in the
desperate for someone else to
car
drive.
and just carry on drive. I should have pushed through all my fear and just carried on driving.
Right.
But everyone kept telling me I was rubbish. So I think it was because I was hypnotised wrongly. Because at one point I was looking for the person who'd hypnotised me because I wanted her to unhypnotise me to say that it wasn't your best time driving, the future is your best time driving.
Right. Did they ever unhypnotise you?
No, because I couldn't track her down.
Are you still hypnotised?
I'm probably still hypnotised.
Well, why do you never want to get in a car and drive it then?
Because she told me I was going to drive the best I've ever driven on that day.
So the problem with the hypnotherapy was she said you were only going to do it for a day.
Well, she probably didn't, but that was my understanding of it. She said to me I was going to drive the best I've ever driven, and then I didn't indicate.
This is an interesting point that Suzanne Stone says. I think I would fail if I was to take my test after 17 years of driving. I mean,
I think most people
Most of us would.
I think there's a
Terrible
program
driving.
in that, getting people to take their test
Yeah,
again.
retake their tests. But then you'd have lots of people being disqualified. Catherine Stamper says, took me 4 times, don't drive, terrible driver, no spatial awareness, feel like I'm in charge of a killing machine, not a travelling machine.
Catherine Stamper, those are my words exactly. That's why I've given myself a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody should drive. I don't think everybody should have children. I don't think everybody should be a pet owner. You know, we're not supposed to do everything.
Do you think anyone should...
I think there's so many people that shouldn't drive.
Do you think...
So many shit drivers.
Do you think there's an argument for people to have children whilst driving?
Such an arse.
I wish you could drive because it's unusual as well to have just one driver in the family. It's
No, there's loads of people that with one
Are there?
driver.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Oh, are there? I'm pleased you've made that sorted. That
No, but there are.
Oh,
there
right,
are.
okay.
All the time.
But I mean, you know, with kids runs and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, but what I do is I make sure I can
Yeah,
get
you-
them a cab. I work hard to pay for a cab. I put my 50% in.
But
to get them a
I
cab.
wonder whether in years to come, for younger generations, cars are going to be a thing of the past. I mean, lots of people are talking about it. If you live in a city, if you have a successful transport system, and the cost of insuring and running a car is so much, you know, I wonder whether the need for, you know, that sort of nostalgic thing of when you're 16, I'm going to pass my driving
I
test.
don't think it should just be a thing anymore.
I don't think it should be
we're
just
not,
a thing.
We're supposed to be walking more
Yeah,
and
exactly.
taking public transport. What we need is the public transport to be sorted out. That's what we need, because we don't need any more cars.
And also from an Earth Day perspective, I think we also have a generation that's far more aware of the environmental issues that come with driving.
And I'm telling you now, we're not even fully out of lockdown, and London is gridlocked all the time. So what would be the point of having another bloody car?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting you're asking. I think Izzy's taken a test, has taken a test once or twice. I don't think Fleur has at all. Maddie expresses an interest in driving.
Zoe says, I love driving. I'll always offer to drive. I think it's because I'm a control freak. Oh. And on that, I don't think you would ever want to sit in the car with me driving.
I quite enjoyed it the couple of times you actually drove, though.
I don't think you would. Mostly you'd go, let me do it.
Yeah, there is that.
You would.
That. Yeah, I'd be a backseat driver.
You'd be a terrible backseat driver.
We're buffering. Let me try going over to Wi-Fi. There we go. We're on Wi-Fi now. Let's try that.
Oh, hang on. I've got a message from Megan. I've just got to answer this.
And we're live again. There we go. So, Jessica Woodstock, I can't pass the theory. I have panic attacks. Every time I go in, I'm always 1 point off. That's a shame. That's frustrating. I mean, I don't think I'd pass the theory test. It's all about the bloody, what's it even called? The highway code. The highway code. Do you remember the highway code? I remember my granddad giving me his copy and it was already out of date. So driving test. Do you think driving will become a thing of the past? Do you think the need to drive will eventually fade away? I mean, I suppose in parts of America, and it's very much a part of the American coming of age thing, isn't it? Learning to drive, especially because there's so much distance between places. I purposefully didn't learn to drive before I went to university because I knew that I would end up in an absolute mess at some point, probably at college. Della Nixon, if Boris has his way, we will all be on bikes. Not for us country bumpkins, says Melanie Gibson. Ashley Bramwell, you think the UK transport is a problem? Try living in Ireland. Oh, really? No, never. Driving gives you so much freedom. I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, it's the ability to be in control of your destiny, isn't it? And it's all right being stuck in traffic with your own family rather than with strangers all the time, isn't it? And I wonder whether the whole coronavirus COVID thing, will kind of diminish the desire to travel on public transport. I wonder if we live in a post-COVID time where, we worry about infections and things like that, whether that will have an impact on whether people pick up driving or not. Other news, Richard Madeley is favourite to replace Piers Morgan.
I knew it. We said it on day one when Piers Morgan went. Me and Lee. Lee, are you listening? Didn't we? We said... But I mean, he is the most un-PC person. And he literally said the best line the other day for himself, didn't he? On Twitter or something. He said, I don't give a fuck what Twitter says about me.
Yeah.
But he's very un-PC. I mean, he says some really dodgy stuff sometimes.
Well, he's like the ultimate embarrassing dad, isn't he?
He really is. But maybe that's what we need.
Yeah.
Because...
Do we? Do we need it? Is it not?
I don't know.
Can we not?
To push against it, probably.
Can we not explore?
Because when everyone is just on one level of watching every single thing they say, because underlying, people still have stinking thinking, don't they, about the world? There's so many people that still have so many prejudices.
So what you're suggesting, that his capacity to stumble into terrible gaffes is a good thing?
Yeah, because I think we need to be able to have discussions, not arguments. We can't discuss anything anymore without fear of being shot down in flames.
I suppose I get a bit frustrated that is there no new talent coming through? Do you know what I mean? I sometimes wonder, is there, can we try, I mean, I don't know. I mean, why don't we... I mean, I personally I don't mind Richard Madeley at all. I think he's great. But I don't know whether it's sort of, have we been there?
No, but I mean, there's loads of people his age and his way, We can't just have young, totally awake people. You've got to represent everybody, haven't you, across the board? So,
I guess so.
I mean, as long as somebody is never bullying or being purposefully offensive,
well, the nice thing is
I don't think's right.
He's definitely not. I mean, is he? No, he's not a bully, is he?
No.
No. I mean, he's very forceful and he's very, can get quite stubborn. I mean, I find him incredibly entertaining. I thought he was brilliant on The Circle. I mean,
what do you think, guys?
Yeah, what is
what
your
do you
take
think
on
about
that? What do you think of Madeley replacing Morgan? Rubbish.
Where are the
Bring
favourites?
Piers back, says Bullberry Jam. Oh, your name's changed. I thought it was Blueberry Jam.
Blueberry Jam.
no, Richard,
Bev,
think
Berry,
of
my
people feeling. I hope he
child's
gets in from Dublin.
My child's off school for bullying. I wish I could homeschool. Oh, sweetie. You're only ever as happy as your youngest child, aren't you? It's so difficult. A big, big hug to you.
He won't be a popular choice, says Della Nixon. Sarah Fox, that's what I want to see, more youngsters. You know what I really want to happen to breakfast television? I want something like not Big Brother, what was it called? The Big Breakfast to come back.
No, but this is what I think, and I get what you're saying, Sarah, but the young audience has left telly and it's not coming back.
That is very true.
It's not coming back.
That's a very good point.
So what we need is that young morning show on YouTube or somewhere else, but not on telly.
Yeah, it's very true.
And that's why you need to have somebody that does serve that middle-aged and beyond age. A bit of an old duffer like Richard.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Now, I'm going to make a really bold statement and promise that we haven't done one of these for quite a while.
It's just Judy that didn't, Gabriella.
Yeah, we're going to schedule, I think we should do a quiz. I think we all need to do a quiz to celebrate the end of pandemicness as we reach it. I don't know when. We'll have a discussion about it.
And who's our lovely subscriber? She DM'd me. She's written up 4
exactly. And I think there's an appetite for mass stupidity. I mean, we tried to do it. We tried to do one every weekend, and I just got exhausted. And I also nearly lost the use of my legs because all of the Irish dancing.
Very hard work.
It was very hard work and very intense on the abs. But I've got fitter, so I think I could probably do the kind of dancing like a pet that you instruct me to do, which is quite good. Like get down and give me 10 or what.
Sarah Fox, I think we do need to hear the opinions of younger people, and maybe what they could do on GMB is have another spot, have a younger person as well. Yeah. But I just don't think the younger audience is there. I just think they've left telly for good.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. So there you go. So keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna decide upon a time to do a quiz, and we are going to give you an all dancing, all shaking and pumping.
We'll give you plenty of
We'll give you plenty of notice.
So you can book in.
Now, we have a couple of birthdays here. So we've got Emma McGregor, who's 46.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emma McGregor. Happy birthday to you.
I was going to do bubble, but I realised it was a bottle and it went everywhere. This is lovely. Look,
I think we should do a big breakfast. Let's shake up coffee moaning.
The big breakfast.
Let's change it. Because now that lockdown is lifting, and I think we should make it a bit more of a magazine show.
Hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this chat. Obviously, there's going to be more over the weekend. We've got the Sunday show coming. We've got vlogs landing today. So hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and you'll be notified. We've got another birthday here. Vanessa Johnson's mum is her 60th, and her name's Beverly.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beverly.
Beverly.
Happy birthday to you.
And this is really sweet because the other day I wound you up and pretended that Queen Elizabeth, Her Royal Highness, watches our channel because it was her 95th. But So Unique's grandpa is 97.
Oh,
and
what's his
he's
name?
not watching it now. We haven't got his name. But if we sing Happy Birthday to So Unique's grandpa, she's going to show it to him later.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa.
So Unique's grandpa.
Happy birthday to you.
97 today.
Oh,
I bet you've got some stories
big
to
kiss.
tell. So, guys, have a lovely, lovely Friday. And as I say, there will be a vlog landing later today, so that'll be fun. And the usual hijinks and stupidity will be in there. I'm sure Nadia will be in some strange position doing something for the vlog. There's always something. You're always doing something weird, aren't you? So you'll be notified about that when it lands.
Aubrey.
Oh, Aubrey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aubrey. Happy birthday to you. See, at 97, I think you deserve 2 happy birthdays.
You do. You absolutely do. And I love that name, Aubrey. That's
So
so
do
cool.
I.
Yeah.
Such a cool
We need
name.
to bring Aubrey back. That's a great name. Guys, seriously, have a really nice day. Have a lovely Friday. And we will see you next live will be tomorrow morning, as long as worldwide news doesn't break any terrible news.
Exactly. But Claire Harner would like us to say happy birthday to her partner Ellie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellie. Happy birthday to you.
Take great care, guys.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And
Yeah.
if you want to join the members area, hit the join button.